Welcome back to the William Penn Coaches Show here at Wood Iron Grill. Wood Iron Grill, the main sponsor of William Penn Athletics, has an awesome restaurant. If you haven't yet, make sure you check it out. Here in Oskaloosa, it is Halloween, which means tomorrow at 7 o'clock, there will be trick-or-treating at the women's volleyball game. Adults will get in for $2. Bring your kiddos. They get in for free, and they will be able to trick-or-treat from a bunch of different teams and clubs. They will have stands set up. Make sure you bring them along. On Saturday, Pentoberfest. We have men's and women's soccer games. Women play at noon. Men will play at 2:30. The first 300 people get a free mini mug, so make sure you show up. And on Saturday, we will have a tailgate out front of the Penn Gymnasium before the basketball game at 7 o'clock. Now on to today's guest. Sitting with me, I have Coach Hafner. Thanks for always coming out, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, so I know you were a little disappointed with that last game. We talked a little bit afterwards, and you said that as coaches, you wanted to get out, make sure you get that energy back up so that you guys can finish the year strong. What were the practices like this week?
Well, again, and I keep saying it week after week. Our team is great, and our kids are great, and we're just not figuring out a way to win. And I'm proud of them for they go to weights every day. They're supposed to go. They practice hard every day. We practice. They watch film. They prepare. So we're ready to go each and every week. I'm proud of them for that. And to answer your question, we had a great week. So hopefully we can play well on Saturday and finally get a victory.
Yes, and Danny Mosquito got his first start last week, got to play every single snap. What did you see out of him last week?
Well, it's one of those things you throw, a young player into the fire like that, and he made some mistakes, but I thought overall that he played good. Again, we're happy to have some of our kids that have been injured back this week. We're excited for them. We're excited for our team. Proud of Danny for the way he handled things. Excuse me. He was extremely upset after the game because he didn't think he played very well. But given the circumstances, we thought he played really well.
And your 2D came out. You have Rodney Hall starting this week as quarterback. Tell me, I can't remember the last time that you guys had the same quarterback starting consecutive weeks. So how do you guys prepare for that to make sure that it's kind of specified to this quarterback schedule that you're starting?
Well, I think that, if any position's the hardest to replace somebody, it's quarterback, because they have to know so much. Yeah. And it's not just a game plan. I mean, we're talking play to play. And so when you're trying to prepare a different one every time and you don't know if this one's going to be able to play or not play and who's going to start and who's going to be your backup, it's extremely hard on everybody, and even the kids. And so they've handled it very well. We're excited that Rodney's back. We actually get Gavin back this week too from an ankle injury against Grandview. We think that Alex is getting closer. We don't know, quite if he'll be ready to go yet or not, but we're excited to have those kids back. We've had them all week, and it's just one of those things where a week's preparation makes all the difference in the world, and we're excited that Rodney's back, and hopefully we can go play well.
And you guys have Culver Stockton this week. How are you guys preparing for them as a team?
Well, they're really good on defense. Their quarterback that's we've seen their 2D for a couple days. Their starting quarterback is supposedly out. We'll wait and see until Saturday. Okay. We kind of know how that goes, but if he plays, they're a different football team than if their backup plays. So, but defensively, they're really good. They remind me a lot of Peru State, how aggressive they are and how they run and fly to the ball. Offensively, they're going to spread it all over the field and try and throw it 40 or 50 times. If their starters in there, if their backups in there, they ran it about 40 or 50 times last week. So it just depends. So we've prepared for both. We're excited to go play, and hopefully after a 2.5-hour bus ride on Saturday, we can get off the bus ready to play and play well and win a game.
And Culver Stockton is 2-0 in conference. They have their eyes set on those playoffs. But next Saturday, after you guys, they have a big match against Grandview. Is there any way that they could overlook this game, knowing that Grandview is going to be a difficult game?
Well, we hope so. But I doubt it. Coach Sal's a great coach. They'll be prepared. They know that if they slip up, the Grandview game means nothing at that point. So, they'll be prepared. We're going to their place. It's a hard place to play. They have their fraternities are right behind our bench, so they'll be yelling and screaming at us all day. And So we're excited to go play. We're excited for another opportunity, and the way our kids have prepared, we feel like we can go in there and play well and get it done.
And looking at last week's game for Culver Stockton, pulled off a very non-convincing win against Clark, actually went down early. So what are some of the weaknesses that you've noticed that you guys can try to exploit? Wow,
that's a good question. It's one of those things that, they're good, and again, I'm going to go back to it. If they're starters in the game, I think it's a different game. They turn the ball over, and that's not, something that they do on a normal basis. So I'm sure that was something that they've addressed this week. They turned it over and didn't turn Clark over, and so Clark was able to keep it close. They won the field position battle, and if they're talking right now, if we don't turn it over, it's a whole different game. And so hopefully we can turn them over, and we don't turn it over, and we can give ourselves a chance in the end.
And with all those injuries this season, had different groups of people out there on the field all the time. How do you feel about the team chemistry between the guys that are going to be out on the field this Saturday?
Well, I go back to it. Our kids are fantastic. They come every day with a great attitude. We were disappointed after the game Saturday, but and we tell our guys, you've got tonight to be disappointed. But when we show up tomorrow, the attitude's back to work. And so they show up every Sunday, they're ready to go to work, we lift, we watch film, we get prepared for the week, and they've done that each and every week, and that's something for us to be proud of them for, because it could sure be different than that. But our senior leadership right now is really good, and they don't allow those kids to be down, and we come in with a good attitude, and so we're proud of them for that, and we're proud of them for preparing each and every week given the circumstances.
All right, well, good luck this Saturday, Coach. We're going to send you guys to a quick break. When we come back, we will have head men's and women's cross country coach, Coach Goswich, back with us.
Hi, this is Michael, owner of the Wood Iron Grill in Oskaloosa on South 11th Street, your home for chef-inspired cuisine. From the delectable food that we serve to our gracious hospitality, the Wood Iron Grill provides a warm atmosphere with panoramic views of emerald fairways and rolling greenery. We're proud to call Oskaloosa home and proud to be awarded the best burger in the state. If you're looking for extraordinary flavor and impeccable service, it doesn't get any better than the Wood Iron Grill. Check out our events and special calendar online or on Facebook.
It's more than an education. It's more than a degree. William Penn University is alive with opportunity. Opportunity in a diverse student body. Opportunity in a staff that works with your budget. Opportunity in over 30 programs of study. Opportunity in a classroom where your voice is heard. Find your future and the opportunities waiting for you. Start your planning today at wmpenn.edu and see why William Penn University is alive with opportunity.
For nearly 40 years, Musco has specialized in the design and manufacture of sports and large area lighting solutions. From neighborhood ball fields to international speedways, Musco is committed to providing cost-effective lighting solutions and services you can rely on. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting, we make it happen.
All right, guys, we are back here at Wood Iron Grill, this time with head men's and women's cross-country coach, Coach Goswich. Thanks for coming out, Coach.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, so your regular season is over. Give me a little rundown of how it went on both the men's and women's sides.
Sure. We'll start with the men's side. The men have had a really good season, to be honest with you. We're doing good things. There's been a ton of lifetime PRs on the men's side, and we're really ready to rock and roll for conference. We're looking forward to it. The women's have been a lot of up and down this season, but again, we're getting healthy towards the end, and we're looking for conference in a little over a week here.
All right, and that's exciting. You said conference coming up just next week. How are the teams looking in general?
Yeah, so we had our most recent poll, the last one going into conference actually. The men were ranked 7, the women were ranked 10. Honestly, I think my guys are going to finish 4th. I think we're going to do some pretty good things in conference. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a crazy conference meet, and I think my women can do better as well. And that's kind of some of the expectations we have.
So with this conference meet coming up, what does the training schedule look like during this week before your biggest meet?
Sure. Today was a rough one. I'm sure we all know it was pretty windy, cold, and rainy. There's no escaping that, when we're almost in November. But we don't really take our foot off the gas pedal too soon. We might lower the volume a little bit. We're running a little bit less just to stay fresher, but the intensity's still there. We're really working hard, keeping everything even keeled, so we can go into next week ready to rock and roll.
And how are the men and women feeling health-wise? They've had a long season. It's starting to get cold out. Where are they at physically?
Yeah, I mean, the cold is what it is. There's no escaping that.
Yeah.
It's just something we got to layer up and deal with. But, health-wise, like I said, as we're kind of winding down with the volume, kids are starting to feel better, starting to feel a little more energized, getting rid of some of those nagging injuries that have been with us, mile after mile after mile throughout the season. So it's a good time to be getting healthy.
As a coach, what do you say to your runners before they're going out there for such a big race?
Sure. I mean, we're just really honest with it. We know what we can do, we know who we are, and it's just a matter of going over your race plans, knowing what we're going to do in the race, who we want to stick with, who we want to work with, and then being calm. You don't want to be you're always going to have jitters, you're always going to be nervous before a big race like that, but you don't want to be freaking out, you don't want to be unaware of what your race plan is and just panicking when you get to that line. You've got that plan set, you got to stick to it, see it through.
And as a runner, do they approach this bigger race any differently than they would approach just a regular season meet?
Yeah, I mean, regular season meets are important, but this is the most important. So, and it's for everybody, not just us. You go to the conference meet and you can feel the energy between the teams. You can feel animosity is not the right word, but everybody's looking to get a piece of each other out there, and it's just got a different feel to it, different attitude to it, and it's exciting, honestly.
On the women's side, what goals do you have for this conference tournament? Anything specific?
Yeah, I mean, we just want to do better than what we were seeded coming in. Jump some teams that don't expect us to jump them. And if we can get a couple of those top girls qualified for nationals, that'd be huge.
And then on the men's side, I know you said you guys want to finish fourth. That's what you guys have set individually.
Yeah, I mean, fourth has been our goal, and it's going to be a tough conference battle. There's a lot of teams that are right there on top of each other within 2 seconds team time totals. So it's going to be a tough fight. But we want to absolutely put ourselves up there with some of the big dogs, and again, get a couple guys qualified for nationals. That'd be huge.
Tell me about some of the guys on your team that you're looking forward to watching this week at conference who might be able to go out there and do something special.
Yeah, Vernon Trozy, he's been leading us most of the year. One of his best times, you're at 26:30 in an 8K. And if he manages to do that or faster again, it should put him in the top 20 and qualify him for nationals. He's going to be exciting to watch. And actually, William De Jesus, he's improved by over a minute, maybe a minute and a half this year. So he's in really great shape. He's motivated, ready to rock and roll. And then right behind him are 3 or 4 more guys that are right on top of each other and trying to stay right on Will's heels. So it's going to be exciting.
All right, well, that's what we like to hear. That was Coach Goswich of men's and women's cross country. When we come back from this break, we'll have head men's basketball coach, Coach Henry, with us.
Hi, this is Michael, owner of the Wood Iron Grill in Oskaloosa on South 11th Street, your home for chef-inspired cuisine. From the delectable food that we serve to our gracious hospitality, the Wood Iron Grill provides a warm atmosphere with panoramic views of emerald fairways and rolling greenery. We're proud to call Oskaloosa home and proud to be awarded the best burger in the state. If you're looking for extraordinary flavor and impeccable service, it doesn't get any better than the Wood Iron Grill. Check out our events and special calendar online or on Facebook.
It's more than an education. It's more than a degree. William Penn University is alive with opportunity. Opportunity in a diverse student body. Opportunity in a staff that works with your budget. Opportunity in over 30 programs of study. Opportunity in a classroom where your voice is heard. Find your future and the opportunities waiting for you. Start your planning today at wmpenn.edu and see why William Penn University is alive with opportunity.
For nearly 40 years, Musco has specialized in the design and manufacture of sports and large area lighting solutions. From neighborhood ball fields to international speedways, Musco is committed to providing cost-effective lighting solutions and services you can rely on. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting, we make it happen.
Welcome back to the William Penn Coaches Show here at Wood Iron Grill. We are back with head men's basketball coach, Coach Henry. Thanks for coming out again, Coach.
Nice to be here.
All right, so after a few games in a scrimmage, you got those under your belt. You started off the season with a close overtime win against Dort. Tell me how your team performed last weekend.
Honestly, not real well, but we got wins. What does that mean? Oh, louder. Okay. I'm really good at being loud, so I can do this as loud as you want. We didn't play real well, but we got wins, and I would rather learn while winning than learn while losing. So Dort has always kind of been a team that's bothered us because they're real methodical, and we want to play wild and crazy and fast. So it's a contrast in styles. But it was an instant classic like it was in Branson a couple of years ago. We beat them in double overtime in 2014. And I would say that these back-to-back Dort games are pretty cool for us because we won them both. But Saturday, Governor State in the championship game of their classic got off to a slow start. We're a work in progress, but we did win. Kavion Blaylock was MVP of the tournament. Josh Watkins was all-tournament team, and I'm very happy for him because he's from that area, like real close to that. I mean, he was driving back and forth to his mom's house, and good for him. Kamari Newman was also all-conference, although he missed like 60 shots. But he did hit like the game winner in one game. His shot selection will improve. These people were here giggling. His shot selection will improve unless it's going in. And then, when he makes shots, nobody complains and says, "Henry, what the hell are you doing? Heck are you doing?" But when he's missing, everybody says, "Why does he let him shoot those shots?" And it is what it is. And but we did win. Before that, we beat Kirkwood by about 11, and then we beat Indian Hills the other night by 13. And I was really proud of that night because we were missing our starting point guard, Chance Caruso, and our starting post player, Fred Jackson. And, I just thought our kids really grinded it out, and we had some kids play that weren't normally playing as much as they were. So, like I said, we're a work in progress, but I'd rather win while learning and then having other kids step up, because with COVID, you never know, what's going to happen. So I want to get everybody ready to go.
Yep.
And ready to play.
So, as you said, already some injuries falling upon the team. How important is having that depth during such an intensive, long season?
Depth is crazy important. And here's the weird thing about this team that I don't know if I've had this since 2000, a long time ago. I'm going to date myself. And everybody over here listening, 2008 wasn't that long ago, was it? Okay, young people, 2008, they're like, I was in second grade. But we had a weird mix a long time ago with the Stouts and Jesse DeGeese and all the freshmen I brought in, mixed with seniors. It was like 6 seniors and 6 freshmen. It was hard to deal with. We're going through that again in that with the COVID eligibility thing, these kids, some of them are playing their 5th or 6th year, mixed in with 18-year-olds. It's been challenging. I kind of like it though because I've got my veterans that know everything, and then the young guys who don't know anything. It keeps me somewhat young. I mean, I'm not as young as Mr. Crookham, but I had to get that. That made me laugh. But it's been challenging when you're coaching an 18-year-old and a 26-year-old. I mean, when you're 26, that dude was in like second grade when you were a senior in high school. So it's been different, but I enjoy it. I always love a mixed bag of mutts. I don't want them to be house puppies. So that's how we're doing it this year, and hopefully it works out.
All right, Coach. Now give me some insight into your strength of schedule this year. You've been on top for a few years now. Is it similar to the past?
Well, first and foremost, I think we're overrated. We're ranked 4th in the country. And there's been years where I've said, yes, we are the best team in the country, and I've never shied away from that. I want to be number 1. I want to be number 1, and I want to win every game, and I want to be the program and the university that everybody fears and doesn't want to play. And I feel like I've accomplished that in my career, but this year, we should probably be about 15 to 20 right now. But hey, I always said, when you've made it, you're overrated. So the strength of schedule question, I don't know until we've played it out. Dordt was picked 7th in the GPAC, so celebrating a win over Dordt when you're picked 7th in the league, I don't know if that's a great accomplishment, but I do think that they're better than that. Governor State has a lot of athletes, so that's a formidable opponent, especially on back-to-back weekends. But the rest of our schedule, we play a conference game soon. We'll play Saturday versus William Woods, who beat Clark last week, and we'll get a home game. And then we have 11 days off, and we have games scheduled in there that got canceled. And then we'll go to Indiana to play 2 great teams. When we come back from Indiana, I'll know where we're at. I'm not sure where we're at right now. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just telling you honestly, I'm not sure where we're at, but it's going to be fun.
And like you said, going over to Indiana, playing in Indiana University South Bend, how are those matchups, those tougher games that you have in the next stretch, next few weeks, going to help you heading into conference play?
Well, anytime you go that far away, South Bend or Southeast or whoever we're playing in Indiana, is going to help you when you go to Evangel or Mid-Am or Baker, all those teams. And then it helps with camaraderie because we're staying overnight and the guys have to be with each other. Chicago was a little different because it was a trip for Ahmad Pinder and Josh Watkins going home to Chicago. And I've done that over the years, trying to get kids. Way back in the day, we went to Michigan for Eddie or Chris Miller. We did it for him too. And we try to get kids home for a game. Now, we can't go to Latvia. We can't go to Croatia, and I prefer not to go to Louisiana ever again. No offense to anybody in here from Louisiana, but we try to get them a home game. It was really easy when we had all those new Sharon Stout kids because it was right down the road. But it'll be fun. And I always say when we go on trips like that where we play 2 games, the goal is to come home with 2 wins. 1-1 is decent, but anything other than 2-0 is not acceptable. And I keep saying that stuff. I feel like when I'm saying that, I feel like a drill sergeant. But I love on these guys, and I really like our team.
And then going back to what you said you feel overrated this year. I know you said again that you don't know exactly what your team looks like until you go over and play those teams in Indiana. But from what you've seen so far from this team, what have you taken away that you're working on this early in the season?
They are far and away more coachable, more coachable group than they were last year. And we do have 10 returning letter winners. And I don't know really what the change has been other than we told them, we have to be more of a cohesive group, both coaches and players together. And I've really seen a good change in that. Now, Q and Mari are always going to argue with the officials. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're working on it. We're doing our best. And the problem is this is an AAU generation and NBA generation. You don't see that in the college game on TV, but all these players that want to argue with the officials like they're going to change the damn call, and it's not going to happen. So we've been working on that. In practice, we'll call phantom fouls and stuff that didn't even happen. But no, they're way tighter. Not that they weren't tight together as a unit last year, but this year it feels like the older guys are helping the younger guys. The younger guys have brought a young, exuberant energy that has been infectious.
Is that all you got?
We don't know. What do we want to read here?
We're done. That's it. You are good.
I want to apologize to you. I'm a damn fool. Last time I did this, three words. All right. Well, that was a light one, right? All right. Well, the last time I did this, I took the mic off and walked off before you finished, and you were an absolute pro and handled it so well. So I just want to tell you that I'm embarrassed and I'm sorry, and I will sit here until you sign off.
All right, well, are you ready? You get comfortable?
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this week to William Penn's Coaches Show. Big thanks again to Wood Iron Grill for letting us use their restaurant to let you all know what's going on inside William Penn Athletics. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. See you
Happy
next
birthday
week.
to Joe Crookham.
Happy birthday.